Hi guys, it's Mew2King
and Salem.
and today we're going to be going over the RPG characters in Smash, and we're going to rank them in order, but most particularly talk out who is the best RPG character in the game. And as you know, the RPG characters in the game are Cloud, Joker, Hero, Shulk, and Robin, because other Fire Emblem characters don't exist.
Robin's in multiple Fire Emblem games. He's the tactician, if you haven't noticed. He appears in Fire Emblem 7, for example, which is also named Fire Emblem.
Robin was not in the first Fire Emblem!
You sure about that? Robin was the green guy in the beginning of the game that Lynn talks to.
Dude, no.
Yes. That's Robin. Sorry.
So we're going to first start with Robin. Even though Robin isn't the best RPG character, he's actually quite an underrated character in my opinion. He has those fireballs. You know, the ledge trap is really annoying.
The limited.
You can't really run the shield against Robin because his thunder and the fire and his down. Actually, all his special moves pretty much except up B are really good against the shield. Like the down B grabs the shield and the fire. Wait, in this game, does the fire still burn on the shield?
Yes.
Okay.
On contact, it burns on the shield and it kind of locks you in a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, and then the thunder. It's I think it's Robin's advantage on block, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like all of his moves are advantage on block, so you can't really just spam running shield approach. Like, yeah, it's probably not going to run up and grab you. I mean, he could, but he probably won't. But he has a lot of. It's really difficult to approach him. What you could do against him is like you could waste his ammo, but like he has so much of it, and he can just mix you up, and he has plenty of uses. Robin also has a really good recovery with on stages with platforms, especially like on Battlefield. You can just up B and angle it and just land on the top platform, and if you're already committed to like an edge guard or if your character's slow, it'd be hard to chase him, and he can start shielding and doing mix-ups after landing on the stage. So I think his up is really good if you like land on top middle platform, for example. I feel like it could be really good on those types of situations. So his recovery is pretty good. He has a lot of moves that are safe on shield, so he can't really run shield approach. And he hits pretty hard with when he has the Leffen sword with the lightning. It's really strong. So Robin actually has a lot of strengths. He's, in my opinion, a pretty underrated character.
And now going over Robin's weaknesses, as said, he has only so many uses, which means he can't keep doing the same thing forever. He has to mix it up and make sure he has a backup plan. So if Arc Fire's gone, you have to L Thunder, and if L Thunder is gone, you have to Arc Fire. But Arc Fire is really laggy, which means maybe you need your Leffen Sword to protect yourself. But Leffen Sword kinda takes a while to come back, and you may not always want to use it. But as well, the most important thing to note is like Robin's up B. That has limited uses, and if you run out of it, you just die. You can somewhat hover with it, but generally, you don't want to be forced to use it too much. And if you have to use it too much, then you better use Rapid Jab to actually get rid of it so it resets the uses. It's a little complicated. The character is a little bit complicated, so that as well can be a weakness. Bronze Sword is kind of because like your smash attacks don't do anything. You're not going to kill anyone with Bronze Sword smash attacks, so that's a problem. So you actually really need the Leffen Sword. A lot of Robin's approaches is based off of A or B, as in, are they on the ground? Are they in the air? If they're in the air, Leffen Sword. If they're on the ground, L Thunder or Arc Fire. But besides that, the character is pretty linear in a way, so you don't have too much. As well, you don't really have a grab because it's just sluggish. It has a little bit of range, but besides that, it sucks. You don't even really have a pummel either, by the way. So once you grab them, you just have to throw them. Your kill throws aren't really that strong, like back throw. It's like average at most, but it's all you got. So generally, you have to like actually fight your opponent and try to kill them. There's the fact that Robin moves very, very slow. Like, they can't exactly run away too well, so you literally have to wall them out. Otherwise, you're going to have to roll or spot dodge or jump away. Like, you don't get the privilege of just being like, oh, let me just dash away. That's why you have to keep throwing L Thunders a lot of time to keep space. Otherwise, it's just like, okay, well, they're just going to get in and then you can look at that. You don't have a real out of shield option as well. So they're in on you. You actually just have to escape.
All right, next up is Shulk, and Shulk's strengths are everything.
technically, yeah.
Yeah, he has range, kill power, combos. Like his, all right, jokes aside, his biggest strength is range and the fact that like he has a lot of really good things. Like you can go into the shield art mode, the yellow mode, I call it, and you basically when you're getting hit by like a Bowser up B or just like any multi-hit moves or like throws and stuff, you can literally shield art out of it and then punish them. That's like really useful. You can live for a long time. You could use jump and speed art and the shield art to like live a really long time. If you're at low damage or you're ledge trapping them, you go into your little purple mode. I'm gonna call it purple mode, where your damage dealt is like significantly increased. Also, you have like down throw, tilt combos as well, and you know, if the base mode, you have good recovery. Pretty much, you have everything. The only thing is like your out of shield's kind of It's like it's not horrible, but it's not great either. It's just up out of shield, with like average out of shield speed, and yeah. Basically, you pretty much have to get close to Shulk for the most part. Because like, if you try to camp him, he can just set up the mode he wants easier. I mean, camping beyond that's pretty fine. But then, you want to get up close to like... But the thing is like up out of shield would be good, I would say. But then the thing is, it's not really because he can just keep spacing. So the fact that his sword is so long, like... His sword is so long. Also, your short hop fair reaches the top platform. You can actually short hop fair on Battlefield, and it hits somebody standing on the top platform. It's actually really crazy. If theoretically this character mastered is just like ridiculously good, and I'd say the biggest weakness is like the fact that he has a high learning curve.
Okay, so basically, Shulk's main weakness is his startup on all his moves. Like,
yeah.
It's a little bit of a long startup, and not to mention a lot of his moves have to arc in certain areas to actually get to the opponent. So it's much slower than you think, and as well makes it so people can parry his moves easier. Besides that, he is probably the most technical character in the game because he can just cancel everything into everything. Like literally, like you can basically wave dash. You can basically become invincible. You can just switch arts almost anytime you want to. There's things like dial storage, all kinds of technical things. But besides that, his Monado arts have a timer. And let's say you do use shield to get out of so-and-so combo. Guess what? It takes like 20 or so seconds to come back, which means you can't cheat again for a while. Which means you're vulnerable. And when Shulk actually gets hit, his disadvantage is kind of like Like, without shield, he can just like, he can kind of explode. As well as his recovery. It depends. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But as well, like I said before, depends on how technical you are, because you can just jump at someone, become invincible, and then go through them, and then shield, like all kinds of technicalities like that. That's why I said it's probably the most technical character in the game, because there's many things you have to take note of, and many combinations of things you have to note. Otherwise, he's kind of a linear character, because you can just parry him. Like, he's one of those characters where if you focus on parrying most of their moves, then they're kind of screwed. And then as well, if they do not have the technical ability down, then it's just like, you can kind of edgeguard him for free. And then there's the other part where it's just like, oh, the Shulk wants to get to the ledge. Wow, he can go into speed, he can go into jump. But let's say he gets hit out of his double jump, and he's in like, in shield for example, he can drop that immediately, go into speed, and get his drift back, and then drift forward, switch to jump, and then be able to get back to the stage regardless. Like, his recovery is really good if you have the technical ability, but if not, then it's kind of subpar somewhat, because it's just like, he's going to go up, he only goes in one line, and you can generally two-frame that or just go in that spot and hit him before he even gets there. But he does as well have the mix-up of backslash if he recovers high up. But as well, the thing about that move is you can just get under him and hit him there too. Art's weaknesses. Shield art, you move extremely slow, your damage is low, your knockback is low as well. So once you're in that, you're not really going anywhere, you're just kind of a rock. Like basically a rock. Speed, your jump height becomes garbage, and as well, your damage is reduced as well. So
I think I want to add speed makes it really hard to parry. Because if you just keep spamming like short hop narrow 4 times with speed, you're going to think they're going to do it 5 times. Then you just change your rhythm, or they can't react to the jump, and you can also just run up and grab them. And that's really good mix-ups with speed. It makes the parrying weakness of Shulk much less severe by a very tremendous margin, in my opinion.
It helps a bit, but the thing about speed is that controlling the character as well is quite difficult, unless, again, you have the technical ability. Because, like, the second you dash, everyone can hit you. Of course, you can jump out, but if you were to get hit when you jump with your moves that have a lot of startup, you would be hit close to the ground, and if you have to attack, you're probably going to miss the attack, and then you're going to explode. Like, that's the thing about speed. And jump, well, you're basically normal Shulk, except your jump height is amazing. You as well take a little bit more damage, I believe, like similar to Buster. And speaking of that, Buster as well, you just take a bunch of damage if you get it. And a lot of people often like to become aggressive when you're in Buster, so usually you're forced to only use it when you're at advantage. Like, you can try to use it in neutral, but a lot of the time I see Shulks try and use it in like neutral, and then they just explode. Or they get hit once, take more damage than they should, and then that's literally the entire game. And then there is Smash. Smash, you're like super light character. I think possibly the lightest character in the game, possibly. Like, you become extremely light. Like, almost anything can kill you. like the most weakest throws become like kill throws. That's how bad it gets. So when you're in that, you have to be the utmost careful. But at like low percents, it's not too bad of a thing to use, because like nothing can kill you at that low percent unless you like really screw up, of course. As well, Shulk also has like a bad grab. It's kind of like Cloud tier.
Hold up.
Like, his grab's kind of bad.
No.
Like, you usually cannot grab people.
So grab frame data.
Like, it's not what you think. The grab is like, eh. But besides that as well, his jab kind of sucks, because they nerfed the range from Smash 4, because before you could actually go around jabbing people. Now it's just like, it's literally a close range move, which means you actually have to be on them, like actually on them, if you actually want your jab to work. And sometimes the move doesn't even work properly, because the first hit pushes them slightly too far from the second hit, because for some reason Shulk wants to kick all the way up here for
frame 7 grab. That's 1 frame slower than the fastest grabs in the game.
That sucks, Jason.
No, it doesn't. Clouds is frame 9.
That sucks, Jason.
There's no kill. Clouds is frame 9.
All the other top tiers can just be like,
Dude, it's only 1 frame slower.
That matters a lot, Jason.
That's not a bad grab.
That's a bad grab.
No, it's not.
That's how it works. It's a pretty bad grab.
Whatever.
You also have to note the grab range. It doesn't have that.
Even this Cloud.
Okay, well, rip.
All right, next we're going to talk about Joker. Joker's strengths are that he wins every turn because Leo pilots him, but no, jokes aside, Joker has these little knives, which are like little mini swords, so he has good disjoints on a lot of his moves. It's not like the range of like an actual swordsman, but it's better range than most of the cast has and most of their moves, and it's not part of his body, so that's really nice. He also has he doesn't have a good range grab, but he has a fast grab, and he has good grab combos with the up throws and the down throws. Also, he has projectiles. Like, he has the side B, and you have the guns. You can like short hop, double gun, ground gun, do it back and forth, down gun, which has been nerfed, but it's still good. So you have projectiles. You can fight up close. You can fight at distance. You don't really have a fast out of shield, but you have pretty much everything else. You have a really good counter. It's like a frame 3 counter, same as in Incineroar's, except like you can hold it for as long as you want. And having a good counter is always nice, especially when you can hold it and power up your Arsene more. And Arsene's like basically in your like cloud limit mode. It's basically like the cloud limit, except it lasts for 30 seconds, although it reduces a lot very fast when you get hit, especially if it's a new patch. But it's still a really good move, and you can make comebacks with it because a lot of his moves have a very strong base knockback, which means it can kill really early on the sides. Like, it won't be super strong. Like, it's still gonna be weaker than like a Bowser back air than like a high damage, for example. But it would be really good at like killing people at really low percents because of the base knockback. So you can go for comeback. You can go for comeback attempts with like your back air counter, which is like the biggest counter in the game. It can even hit like Peach's Parasol, like the Tetracon. It can even hit Peach's Parasol when you're under the stage. Just Tetracon hits it. he just has a lot of good things. He's like a super good down B, good range. Oh, some people think he's the best character in the game, mainly because of Leo's results. I personally don't think so, but there's no denying that he's a good character because he's obviously a very good character.
His KO's power as a normal Joker is
So bad.
It's kind of lacking. So
Super Omega lacking.
he has to actually go for edge guards if he really wants to kill people, or like hope a random smash attack kills them. Hope, like at least touch or something. Besides that, like his disadvantage off stage is a little something else. Like as normal Joker, it's fine. As Arsene Joker, it kind of sucks, but a lot of people don't abuse it. But generally, people can two-frame him easily, or just wait for him to have to up B and just swat him away from the ledge.
Or should Pikachu just float there and then press the A button?
You gotta do it right, though. Otherwise, he gives a tech, and then you die. That's what Leo did before. But anyway, besides that, when it's Arsene Joker, if you get hit, you will easily lose like a ton of your Arsene meter compared to like before because Nintendo got mad. Nintendo got extra mad. Besides that, Joker generally doesn't have like as much range as everyone else, like most sword characters, but it still is a dagger, as Jason said. But you have to know it's a dagger, not an actual sword, which means if you have a sword, you can actually outspace him very easily.
Oh, I just realized he's like Jafar from Fire Emblem, the assassin. Dude, that's so cool when you can think of it that way.
You done?
Yeah.
Besides that, it kind of takes Joker a while to kill someone if they're like at high percent and actually actively shielding things, because you don't have like a real kill throw except back throw. And if they're not like near the ledge, ready to get back thrown by anything, then it's kind of just like a problem, because they could just like try their best to waste your time. Which I also forgot to mention, Joker's range isn't the best, so that's why he has a gun and snappy moves. Snappy moves. So that's why he has those moves, but generally he's going to be like trying to take his time to actually fight you, because it's not as easy as you think for him to just go in and just get a free hit. It's just he's using his mobility to maneuver around you to find the right time to get a hit.
Next, we're going to talk about Hero. Hero is a really good character, specifically at beating camping. He's not the greatest character at handling a rushdown. Like, he has an up B out of shield, which is alright and stuff, but his out of shield is, I'd say, below average, but his ability to out-camp characters is really good. That's why you see Salem, for example, pick Hero against, like, Pac-Mans and characters who, like, want to take their time in their setups, because giving Hero time to, like, press down B and look through his menu and decide what moves to use, or especially him getting the power-ups, that giving him the time he needs makes him a significantly better character. And some character archetypes, Pac-Man is a good example, like hiding behind a fire hydrant. A lot of characters will just waste their time, while Pac-Man becomes a better character getting the fruits. But Hero becomes a significantly better character because you can really look at exactly what you want to parry, like Accelerado and the Oomph and the Psych Up, and there's just a lot of different power-ups you can get and just make him a significantly better character. So Hero's really good against a specific type of character, and that type of character is the campy characters. Also, campy players.
Zoners.
So that is by far Hero's biggest strength.
Okay, well, I'm going over the weaknesses. His grab is kind of like below average, but it's a fast grab. It's a frame 6 grab, but doesn't have range. It's similar to Link's. As well as he doesn't really have like the best dash attack. His dash attack is situational and it's very slow. Again, it's the dash attack like Link's. Besides that, he doesn't really have the fastest moves, especially aerial-wise. Like his fastest move is his up air aerial-wise, but as well, you have to space a lot, which means your moves are easily parryable. And if not, you're just gonna be spacing all day and just being like, I hope they don't. Which means you just put yourself in a 50-50 situation if they do parry your spaced area. However, besides that, the character is hard to play because you have to often speed read, which means you have to actively look down and look at your menu and then pick the right choice at the time. So you have to do that, and it takes like 20 plus or so frames to even actually use the menu, and then as well add like another maybe 6 or 10 frames to that, depending on what move you pick. So it's a lot to think about once you pull that out. And then as well, the weakness to that is a lot of your moves are linear, as in like A lot of them usually are straightforward, which means people can just full hop over them, people can short hop over them, things like that. Of course, you may get something like Flame Slash or Crackle Slash and just be like, oh, I have a semi-anti-air. But then it's just like, okay, well, if they pay attention to that, they could just wait it out or shield these things or just like keep their distance. Like, it depends on a lot of things. It's like his menu, it is RNG based, of course, but you can still manipulate it because like not every move reappears in the menu. Like, if you, like, for example, if you get banged, you're not gonna get banged a second time in a row unless you get it from Hocus Pocus. That's the only possible way to get banged twice. So the next time you might get like a kaboom or something, like things like that. You will never get a ding twice. That's the good part. You can take note of things like that, but that's really hard to all take note of in general because it's just like, okay, menu. Okay, will they jump? Will they get near me? Will they shield? Okay, I can use menu as a threat in general, but like obviously most things are linear, so they do not have to think about me using menu as much. As well as if there's a buff in your menu, then they can just kind of rush you down because it's like, okay, well, it's not an attack, that's for sure. When it comes to like higher percents, usually it's kind of hard to kill people unless you're like trying to edge guard them. Because you do not have a kill throw unless you have Psych Up, which means you have to actively look for that if you want to kill throws. Like, there's many things like that where it's just like, oh, killing people off throw is situational, as well as you having to find it in the first place, and as well as you getting the chance to even open the menu in the first place. Many things like that. And then there is the other problem, mana. You have an actual mana bar, so you have to continuously take note of that. And then you also have to remember, to get your mana back, you have to actually fight them, which means you have to go over there and touch their shield with something. Of course, it's not too much of a weakness if you think about it, because there's things like Oomph. You could put on Oomph and then try and fight them, because like you will likely win the trade, and even if you don't, as long as you get like one hit in, you should get more than enough mana back, and as well be able to use menu again. So it's a fair trade-off. And then there is Psych Up. Like, you can only use it like on one attack, though it's like it's odd for certain attacks. For like example, you can use Psych Up on your side B, even though it looks to be a projectile-based move. It's not. It's an actual physical move, which means you can use Psych Up off of that, as well as there's certain other moves like Flame Slash. Like, if you use that with Psych Up, that also uses that. Like, you cannot like. There's no easy way to save Psych Up. You usually will have to be forced to use it in some way. If you have Accelerato, you become super fast, but it's hard to actually control the character, and as well as you become much lighter. But there is one important thing to note about that. It messes up throw combos really, really hard. Like, really hard. As in, like, normally, let's say Inkling could up throw up air you. Like, let's say that's in kill percent range. You are out of that range forever, as long as you have Accelerato. That's what that does. It's very good on that part, where it's just like, oh, they actively have to actually hit you. And then there's as well as side B, like it's a linear move, so it's obvious because it's like anyone could just compare it to Hero using menu, because it's just like it's straightforward. All they have to do is full hop. Of course, it's an amazing move, and it's like it's pretty broken when it hits. It just does 1 billion damage, but it's only in one direction, like just straightforward. You could jump and mix it up, but still, like that move that doesn't last. It lasts long, but not long enough to catch like every single option in the game. As well as if it gets shielded, you lose like quite a bit of mana. Like when it comes to like level 2 side B, but besides that, level 3 you use up like all your mana, basically almost all your mana, and it doesn't it's unlikely that you'll hit that move because it takes so long. Like, it's a move you have to set up off of. Like, when you do a down throw on someone, you can 50-50 and be like, if they air dodge, you can fully charge side B and kill them, or you can try and use it to edge guard and kill them at like extreme low percents, but it's really hard to use regardless because it's very setup based and read based. His recovery, it's kind of, that part is possibly the most RNG part, because like there's many ways to make your recovery good. Like, for example, you could throw a Kaboom or Bang into the wall of the stage. You can throw Sizz or Sizzle into the wall of the stage. You could throw a Whack at your opponent. You could get Accelerado and jump back onto the stage. You could get Zoom. You could get Zoom and then be fine. And that brings back your double jump as well. Like, there's many things like that. But it's just like, if the certain things don't show up, or if you do not time it right to protect yourself, then you're forced to up B. And your up B is easily exploitable, because some characters can just freely spike you during your up B, and even if they were to touch your tornado, they save themselves, by the way. Like, they can go all the way down there and just down air, for example, and if it touches their tornado, they're fine. They don't have to worry about anything. That is unless they, like, break through the tornado, but that's usually unlikely because how many hits there are. But besides that, he can as well get 2 frames somewhat easily. It's somewhat based on how you grab a ledge. Like, if you were arcing yourself more into the wall or spacing yourself slightly, you can avoid 2 frames, but most people don't know that when it comes to using Hero Up B. Like, it's a lot of small technical things.
And finally, we'll talk about Cloud. Cloud is a character who, in my opinion, is like kind of average, and some of his strengths and weaknesses are that his strengths is that he's a really good up B to shield, frame 7 up B to shield. On stages like Battlefield, it's extremely good because you can up B it and you can still do the up and down hits and get the damage for it. But you can land on the platform, whether there's a side platform or even the top platform, still get good damage and be able to be safe. So he could be really good on triplats and just platforms in general. Not as much on FD and stuff because the up B to shield isn't quite as abusable and not going to juggle as well. But he got some buffs, so like the up B, it snaps the ledge faster than it used to, which is a little nice quality of life buff. It's still below average recovery, but it's slightly better than it used to be because of that, so it's a little harder to just hit for free. His side B has really good range and does good damage. A lot of his moves, as I've said in prior videos, it's been downgraded a lot from before, but he's like a different style now. Like in the past, you couldn't just forward air someone's shield and smash 4. Now you can forward air a shield, and even frame 6 grabs will not be able to shield grab him, and that's really useful. So basically, you can start as long as your forward air is fresh, you can pretty much, it's a mix-up tree the moment you fair them for like what they're gonna do and what you should do. Like you could dodge. Like if they have like a fast up B to shield, you're screwed anyway. But if they don't have a fast up B to shield or super fast near to shield, then there's a high chance you could literally just do spot dodge. And then like if they try to grab or if they miss their grab, for example, you could just do your like side B to get some damage and stuff or just whatever. Backer is even safer on shield. That's pretty nice. Cloud could also use his limit to just charge limit if he's fighting like a hero or a Pac-Man or just whoever likes to camp and just they like to take time to set up. He could also charge his limit to set up himself as well. So like it's not just them powering up; he gets to power up as well. Or any character that like takes time. So like he has like a good balance of like, okay, they're camping me, I'm gonna charge limit. His limit's not like broke or anything, but it's still better than a lot of just sitting there doing nothing. So he has some options. Another strength is that he has really good range because obviously he has the sword. It doesn't kill as early as the last game, except Backer is still really strong. But yeah, obviously having a giant sword, having good range, that's really useful. So above average out of shield because of up B specifically, and a good range is pretty nice and balances out his bad recovery. Some of his weaknesses is that his grab is really bad. It doesn't even kill KO at 200, and it's like a frame 9 grab. So if his grab was better, he'd be like a much better character. Like if he had like a frame 6-7 grab instead of like frame 9, that would do wonders for him because then he'd actually be able to like. Because right now you can literally just shield against Cloud, and it's like yeah, you'll take some shield damage, but besides shield damage, you don't have to worry about too much. Like you can just play the long game and outpatient him.
Just to note, I didn't go over weaknesses for a reason, because the Cloud reasons and Jason reasons, Cloud and Jason relationship reasons.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Your relationship with Cloud is just something else, Jason.
It's a love-hate relationship.
Yes.
Have you ever had a love-hate relationship?
No.
I have it with a lot of things. What? That doesn't make me a tsundere. I said I have a love-hate relationship with a lot of things. Alright, so now we're going to rank the characters, the RPG characters, from worst to best. And the worst one is, in your opinion?
Well, you got to start with me.
What?
Well, you got to start with me. What the?
What? What's wrong with that?
No, you can start first.
Okay, so the popular opinion is that Robin's the worst of the RPG characters. But I low-key think it's still Cloud, because I think Robin's above average and I think Cloud's average.
Okay, well, I think. Okay. Now that you said that, I think Robin's the worst one.
Everyone just is like, oh, there's no representatives, so let's put him low. But I'm not convinced yet. I think the Cloud players are just really good.
Okay, well.
I think Sparkle's just really good.
Well, the Robin players are kind of.
The best, dude. I fought the Jewel in tourney, and I beat him by like 1 stock, 3 stock, and then I saw Nairo 3-0 Leon's Bowser, who's higher ranked than me, if Bowser, and he got 3-0'd by his Robin. And I play U2, and it's like, I don't know. I feel like Robin could be pushed further, but they're definitely the bottom 2.
Yes.
They're like definitely the worst among the RPG characters. They're without question, EVA order, the worst 2. Obviously, most people are gonna say Cloud's better, but I'm not fully convinced of that. But picking at straws, they're definitely the bottom 2.
Okay.
So we agree they're bottom 2, yes?
Yes.
Okay. We just don't agree with the order, and yeah, most people will say what you said anyway. For me, I think Hero is third best. He has very specific strengths and weaknesses. As I said, he's not very good against the rushdown character, but he's very good against out-camping characters. And then we have Joker and Shulk. This is where I have to be very specific on how I say this. So basically, I think Joker is like overrated, but at the same time, some people are like, oh, well, Leo's the best in the world, and he always gets first and second, so Joker's the best in the game, or top tier. I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, I really feel like I've been saying this consistently for over a year now. I really think it's just the Leo factor. And I've literally been saying this back when he was in Ike main, even like at the end of Smash 4. I literally think it's just Leo. And if it was more people than Leo, if there wasn't such a huge drop-off after Leo, I would not say that. But I really think Joker, I'll probably put him higher in the tier list just because like there's sheer results. I think Mastered Shulk is higher.
Mastered Shulk.
I think theoretical Mastered Shulk is higher. And in addition to that, if you were to like take away Leo from the equation, I think there's a lot more successful Shulks than Jokers. If you were to take away the Leo factor.
The legendary M Shulk. Mastered Shulk.
Shut up. You know what I mean. So those are my controversial opinions.
You ready for the order?
We already know bottom 2, so start with 3.
Joker, Hero, Shulk.
Wait, you have Joker third worst?
Yes.
You're going extra controversial.
Yep. Of course, I haven't been fighting the character as much recently, but that's fine, because the weaknesses are still clear. You just have to not fight the character ever. Like, that character kind of is more so a timeout-based character, like Joker.
I've literally been telling Leo for like, ever since Joker came out, dude, when you don't have Arsene, you can literally just, like, build it over the course of 3 minutes without even dealing damage. Like, you could take advantage of that during, like, and threaten timeouts all the time, but Leo says, yeah, I know, but... then he just doesn't do it.
Like it's like very boring and takes up the entire match, and no one wants to make the game look super boring. As usual, every Smash game.
A lot of players don't care actually,
and there's that as well. But besides that, it's just like he has to do that in the long run because guess what? He doesn't have range, and everyone can just like hit him. And if he gets hit and he flies over there, and then he gets Arsene, oh no, you're gonna get 2 frames and you're gonna die, and that sucks. Or you're gonna just lose Arsene anyway, and now you're at high percent with no Arsene. An entire sequence that can literally happen like free, like literally for free. It can just happen in terms of just be like, oh yeah, I should be fine up, but these Joker nerfs hurt a whole lot. That's why
But Salem, Leo still won even after Joker nerfs.
Wow.
Therefore, Joker is broken.
Wow, that's
and the nerfs don't matter.
Very beautiful opinion. I love it so very much. There's no sarcasm in my voice.
50% of everyone says that though. Anyway, which I get it, but I still disagree.
Hero, I believe this character is probably like extremely broken, probably like top tier, but no one wants to actually put in a lot of time into the character. Not to mention the character is getting a bit more dangerous than I thought because there's lots of edge guard things he can do. Like for example, with his up B, if you were to run towards the ledge and then hold up B and then push forward, you can slip off the ledge and then cover the entire ledge, like below it, and then grab the ledge.
Wait,
then,
what? What are you talking about?
You can cause a ledge slip, basically, to cover the entire ledge and grab the ledge, and then if they are forced to go there, that means...
If they are forced.
They are going to die. He also has, like, tons of 50-50s when he down throws. He also has actual technical combos, somewhat, because, like, depending on how you nair, for example, you could do a landing nair, a slight delayed rising nair, and then you can do another dash nair, and it would all combo. Like, you can basically triple nair people at low percents. It's just harder than one would think. Now, besides that, again, he has like a bunch of safe mix-ups. Like he can down tilt some character shields, he can jab some character shields. He can also beat characters' moves with forward tilt as well. Like there's tons of things like that. Like the character's actual potential is quite suspect because I'm not sure how good he could actually be even now. Even though I said I think he's top tier, it's possible that he could be even better than that because he's not the most balanced character. Now, number one, of course, is Shulk because, like I said, most technical character in the game. Like he can play, he could literally play Ultimate any which way he wants. He could play the game like Brawl. He could play the game like Smash 4. He could play the game like Melee. He could play the game like 64. He could literally play the game any way he wants to because literally everything he has is just like that broken. Like, oh, they're parrying your stuff. Oh, that's fine. Just go into like Buster and make your moves like slightly more safe than usual.
Or like, just grabs. Empty lane grab.
His
speed
grab
mode,
isn't
run
good.
grab. No, it's better than you're saying by a lot.
You could just use speed to do shield pressure, which is better than trying to grab because grabs are
if
obvious.
you know they keep shooting, I mean, like after it becomes obvious that they're just gonna do it.
It will never become obvious. They will randomly spot dodge like most people do, or roll, or they're gonna jump away. That is people's options. That's people's flowchart, and that's why you just keep swinging until they stop shooting. You only grab if you're 100% guaranteed not to move, and most people eventually move because they're just like, I felt like maybe he's gonna grab. For some reason, it just pops up in their head for no reason.
Shut up!
Like they suddenly become psychic, and they're just like, wow, he got too close to me. That's a grab. Like, just like that. They do that every single time. That's why it's best to just apply shield pressure. And that's fine to do because, like, at any point in time,
I'm psychic.
like, they could go into speed, and then you could be like, okay, I got near them, applied some pressure, switch into Buster, and now you can apply real shield pressure. Like, things like that. Like, Shulk has so many mix-ups to where it's just like, oh, yeah, I could do that. I could just be like, oh, I want to kill them at like 60. Let me go into speed, jump near them, and in mid-jump, I switch to smash, go through them, and if they were to try and attack me, they miss, I forward smash angled upwards, and they die at like 60. Free. Just like that. It's broken. And even then, it's just like, oh, well, there's more crazy technical things where it's just like, maybe you're not sure you can actually hit them in Smash, so you take your time and be like, okay, I'm scared of possibly a semi-strong move hitting me. I'm going to just crouch, and guess what that does? It crouch cancels. And it makes it so Smash Shulk doesn't die at Smash Shulk %. It makes him die at normal Shulk %. Like, he has so many crazy technical things like that. As well as, because of that type of thing, if you were in shield and you were to crouch cancel move, guess what? It's even more negative than it was before. Like, it's crazy to think about. Like, his potential is just like, it just keeps going and going and going. But
you know, on the Japanese tier list, I don't remember if it was like Japanese or whatever, but like, I read some tier lists recently where it had Zero Suit as the best and Shulk as second best.
Well, Zero Suit, different story. Anyway, this is the RPG characters. But yeah, Shulk, he just, like, the more I play him and the more I lab with the other Shulks, I'm just like, yeah, this character feels like best in the game. Like, it's actually like scary broken. Of course, that's why I said like Hero's crazy broken because, like, that's why he has things similar to Shulk, but still untapped potential. Like, again, Shulk could just be like, have speed, but he has to switch if he wants to like kill someone, or he has to like get a good combo. And even then, sometimes a good combo doesn't kill. Like nair to down air in speed, it doesn't always kill people, but it just puts them in a really bad position. But like Hero, for example, he could get Accelerate, and if he gets Accelerate, that means he can camp, and that means he can get his pull-out menu more, and that means as well he can easily hit you to get mana back if he needs to. And then as well, he can put on Psych Up, and then Oomph, and it keeps going, being like, oh, the snowball is getting out of hand, and it's just like, okay, well, shielding is now disabled, he's extra fast, and even if his Accelerato were to run out, guess what? He has Psych Up and Oomph. Oomph is on a timer, but even then, that gives him time to still think about what he wants to do because he's still a threat. And he can cycle through the menu enough times to get Accelerato again. That's the thing. Like, Hero can just be like, oh, let me just snowball this and be like, okay, I get Accelerado, I get its Psych Up, and then I threaten them somewhat and keep them at a distance. I can jump around, mix it up, and as well, you use the stage show in my advantage. Get Oomph. Okay, now I basically have my one-shot kit, and now I can scare them and just run around them, and if they do one wrong move, all I have to do is smash attack, and it'll either kill them, which is very likely, or they take a bunch of damage. If they take a bunch of damage, you again get another chance to get Accelerado. And like you can rinse and repeat this, and it's like it's a very simple play style. Like it's a very simple or broken play style. Like that's the thing. Hero could just be like, oh, I feel like just becoming God today. Like there's nothing they can do about it. Like I'm just all powerful because even though it's RNG based, these buffs are like the strongest in the game. Like even if Shulk was in shield, if he were to get hit by a hero with those buffs, that shield would literally vanish. Like it would just straight up vanish. And then guess what? You're probably gonna get put into a tech chase situation because like that stuff puts you low to the ground if you actually don't go anywhere. Which means guess what? He gets another chance to kill you. It's very scary because like technically Hero could just be the best in the game if you do play him correctly. And though it's like semi-inconsistent because you have to get the rhythm and the snowball going, but it's still that broken. Shulk, on the other hand, you could just be like extremely technical and have all the power in the world and just be like, okay, well, I can make this consistent, but even then, it's still like up to you practicing a whole lot and practicing all his technical things to actually like be the actual #1 character in the game.
So what if Bowser had bounce? Then he'd be a bouncer.
Yeah, time to close the video.
Alright guys, thanks for watching our video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and let us know what you think in the comments below. How would you rank these RPG characters in what order? I pretty much know the order you're gonna say. You're gonna all put Robin last and Joker first. I already know. But let us know what your honest thoughts are in below. Obviously, our opinions are controversial and whatnot, but that's just because we're just controversial people. All right, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell. See you guys later.